Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Ruach Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, the elder bishops, the bishops in Connecticut, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, on the four winds, preaching the truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson.
Exactly. And that's the reason why back in January and February we were saying we're not so sure you really need masks, because we didn't realize at the time that there was being asymptomatic spread. That was one of the real reasons. As soon as that became clear, there was no doubt you should be wearing a mask.
Matt Pottinger, the former deputy national.
Sky News, Washington,
D.C. Anybody who's looking at this carefully realizes that there's a distinct anti-science flavor to this. So if they get up and criticize science, nobody's going to know what they're talking about. But if they get up and really aim their bullets at Tony Fauci, well, people could recognize there's a person there, so it's easy to criticize. But they're really criticizing science, because I represent science.
Dr. Anthony Fauci now admitting social distancing wasn't based on science. Fauci telling a House committee this week the idea, standing 6 feet apart, quote, just sort of appeared. The shocking admission comes nearly 4 years after statements like this.
Every aspect of that ending the COVID outbreak in 30 days has some aspect of it of physical separation, whether that's avoiding crowds, whether that's staying 6 feet away from people, whether that's doing teleworking. All of it does that. That's our most important tool.
Just is so upsetting because we went through so much during that period, and it seems like every time we learned something new from Dr. Fauci, it was all made up. I mean, it didn't even have direction. There was no science there.
Bottom line, we don't have to worry about this one, right?
Well, obviously you need to take it seriously and do the kinds of things that the CDC and the Department of Homeland Security are doing. But this is not a major threat for the people in the United States, and this is not something that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
So if you have a physical covering with one layer, you put another layer on, it just makes common sense that it likely would be more effective. And that's the reason why you see people either double masking or doing a version of an N95. I can say as a public health official that I would urge the leaders, the local political and other leaders in states and cities and towns to be as forceful as possible in getting your citizenry to wear masks. Masks are important as part of the physical distance. Physical distancing is the most important, but practically when you're living your life and trying to open up the country, you are going to come into contact with people. And for that reason, we know that masks are really important, and we should be using them, everyone. Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks. Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
It might, if you really want perfect protection of your mucosal surfaces, just for your audience, Jen, as you very well know, you have mucosa in the nose, mucosa in the mouth, but you also have mucosa in the eye. And that's one of the things that, theoretically, you should protect all the mucosal surfaces. So if you have goggles or an eye shield, you should use it. It's not universally recommended, but if you really want to be complete, you should probably use it if you can. It's just that it's so easy for people to just make a cloth mask. That even if you are vaccinated, it is recommended that you follow the public health recommendations of wearing a mask, staying distant, avoiding congregate settings and crowds,
and washing your hands often. So you can get infected and have absolutely no symptoms, but you might have virus in your nasopharynx, even though you don't have any symptoms. So you want to make sure that you do something like wear a mask, like keep your distance, so you don't inadvertently infect someone else. What about a month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying you don't really need to wear a mask? Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who you know were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed. So there was not enthusiasm about going out and everybody buying a mask or getting a mask. We were afraid that that would deter away from the people who really needed it.
I have so many questions to ask you, as you can imagine. But first off, it's been 24 hours since you got the Moderna vaccine. How are you feeling? Any side effects? Is your arm sore?
Well, I actually feel quite good. I do have a little bit of a sore arm. After the vaccination, it was about maybe 6 to 8 hours. I felt absolutely nothing. And then towards the late afternoon, I started to get soreness in the arm. This is very typical of vaccinations. The same thing happened with other non-COVID vaccines that I've had over the years. I felt a little bit achy, but nothing to be bothering or distracting me. Went to bed last night, had a good night's sleep. Woke up this morning. The only thing I have is just a little bit of a soreness in the arm. Otherwise, I'm doing really well.
Ago, Dr. Fauci sat for a 14-hour voluntary interview with the subcommittee. I was there for that interview, which included exchanges on many important questions on research, safety, long COVID, vaccine development, and the importance of strong public health systems in our local communities. Also, we discussed pandemic preparedness, like stockpiling supplies for our hospitals in advance of the next pandemic. But I want the public...
Caucus during Operation Warp Speed and the time you spent with us and Dr. Collins. I also want to thank you for your willing cooperation with the Select Subcommittee. You have voluntarily sat for more than 14 hours of testimony and are appearing voluntarily today. This is more than we can say about other witnesses we have called, and we appreciate it. Dr. Fauci, we're here to investigate the COVID-19 pandemic and to explore lessons learned, positive or negative, and to better prepare for future pandemics. Simply put, America cannot...
Ellie, give us a sense of the mood in that room, and another big point of tension there, which was the discussion about social distancing policies during the pandemic, in addition to what we just heard, which was masking.
Chris, this hearing is looking like it's starting to wrap up. The chairman is in the midst of giving his closing remarks, so we're keeping a lookout here just outside the hearing room for if we see Dr. Anthony Fauci come out, and certainly I have some questions for him after watching that, including the idea of whether it was worthwhile to be backwards looking and if that makes the United States any more prepared for any kind of next pandemic. Of course, that's what Democrats continued to drive at during this hearing. For Republicans, it was a lot of really...
Yeah, so this is Job chapter 13, verse 3. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, right, which is talking about the Most High, right? And desire a reason with the power, right? Which God just means power, which talk about the Most High power, Yahweh. Bashem Yahweh Shai, you will reason with him. But ye are forgers, right? Which that's what doctor mean. When you go into the word doctor, doctor means to forge, right? So that's ultimately what this is. Dr. Fauci is a forger, and that's all they do. That's what forging means. They say they call it doctoring what do you call it? Doctoring information, right? And that's ultimately what he's doing. Oh, did this happen? No, I don't know. I don't know. And they're still, which science means to know, right? And they're still saying that they don't know if it came out of the Wuhan lab or it was by natural causes. Now, this is what they're saying. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just repeating what so-called forger doctor, which that's what forger Fauci, which Dr. Fauci is a forger of lies. Ye are all physicians of no values, because what? A physician is meant to heal. A true physician heals you. You're not a doctor. You don't forge it and make it look like you're doing something great. You know, you're giving you something that it'll put a bandage on a wound, on you know what I mean, like putting a bandage on a gunshot wound. That's the way these guys do, and then call themselves, you know, doing all these so-called medical miracles, right? While these other people were praising this guy, and then they just kept on saying. That's why I showed the last little clips of showing how they just kept repeating about the next you know, the planned pandemic, whatever they want to, however they want to say it, because they're what? Forgers of lies. Forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value, right? Right. So this is Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth, right? This is talking about these Edomites, man. That was Job, right? And Job was around the land of Uz, which filled with Edomites, man. And that's all Edomites were about. Forgers of lies. And their words, the words of his mouth, are smoother than butter. And that's ultimately what Fauci and all these other so-called doctors, these forgers of lies, right along with Congress, right? And they were giving you the dynamic of good cop, bad cop, or giving you the dynamic of both sides, right? I know I forgot how to say it, but basically they were giving you the good and the yin and the yang. Basically, they were giving you the good and the evil, the black with the white, which goes into that Mason. That's why you have the black and white checker floor when it comes to the Masons. You know, the good and the evil fruit, right? Which just lets you know that you're in this matrix, and it's basically trying to cloud your judgment, because as much as there were people bashing him, there were people praising him. So what do? What happens, right? How do anyone get a clear thing? Because you, regardless, when you have two sides, you have that person's side, this person's side, and the truth has to lie somewhere, at least in the middle. I mean, that's and that's what they're lacking. What is it called? Transparency, yeah. Salakia, Thwada Yahweh Shemel Shai, because I couldn't remember. Thank you, Lord. Because, yeah, that's what they're lacking, transparency. And through transparency, you at least go, hey, well, the truth have to lie somewhere in the middle. Someone knows something about something. And something has to be done, but the truth remains that they keep having this, and nobody's going to jail. Not the NH or NIH or not the freaking WHO, right? Not the what is it, the CDC, whatever. None of them are going to jail. They gave everybody false information. That's why they were telling you can't sue for taking it, when they know that other things have been happening since people took the icky Vicky, man. Things have been happening to these people, man. So, besides all the lies and the things that came out, and he's saying, hey, it just popped up out of nowhere, I just went with it. and then turn around and think saying, yeah, I believe it. It helped. No, you just threw something out there because someone else said to do it. There was no science behind it, like you said. And science means to know. So that means you sat there and didn't know a goddamn thing, but you pretend like you did, right? Hey, his mouth, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And ultimately, this whole thing is really war. It's what do you call it? It's germ-fair war, germ warfare, right? But war is in his heart. His words were smoother than oil, yet they draw swords. Hey, and that's ultimately towards you, Jake. First and foremost, that's what they were telling you doing the CV-19, that they want the so-called black natives and Mexicans to get it first, right? Which prove that they're against you, which prove that they know we're the Israelites, right? Even the so-called Jewish people, the small hats, said that they on the other side of the world, but their greatest enemy or things that's stopping them from wherever they're supposed to be progressing when they're running the world. What do they? They said that the so-called Black American, and we ain't doing a thing but killing each other here, catching STDs and all sorts of stuff. We can't be the single most dangerous thing unto you, but this Bible is. The Bible is very dangerous to you, right? Yeah, so this is Psalms 58 and 3, the wicked. Matter of fact, let's go up one more. Just to, get into it a little bit. Matter of fact, let's go ahead.
To the chief musician, to the chief
It's like, yeah, to the chief musician, I'll last chief Chimith David of David of David, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O ye congregation, dealing with the Israelites, because hey, as long as you speaking from this Bible, you're gonna speak righteousness, man. O congregation, do ye judge uprightly, ye sons of men, right? Which is dealing with the Israelites, right? Ye are yea, in heart ye work. Yeah, so this is Psalms 58 and verse 2. This is really the Most High talking against the Israelites, right? Because it's talking about are you O congregation, do you judge rightly, right? The congregation is dealing with the Israelites, and do they judge rightly? But now we know that Esau has picked up the Bible and declared in 1983 that America is a Bible believing place, and that they're this moral place now, right? And it was really supposed to be about the Israelites, but since they picked it up and now they're saying that they're righteous, it says ye in heart, yea in heart, right, which is in your mind, lob, your mind, ye work wickedness, right? And that's what Esau does, and so do Jake, right? Because it's ultimately that's what it's talking about, Jake, because Jake always working wickedness in their mind, right? Ye weigh violence in your hand in the earth, and who's ruling the earth right now? Esau. Esau's ruling the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, who is he? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked right now. And it says the wicked are estranged from the womb, right? And a lot of you Israelites are estranged from the womb too. They are they go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies, right? And a lot of you Israelites are that way too. But now this is referring to Esau, right? Because what the curses are coming upon Esau, the curses that were meant to be upon us, are now falling upon Esau, our enemy, the self-proclaimed so-called white man. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, and Esau's definitely a serpent. And that's why his representation is the serpent that's biting his own tail, because he's so insatiable, right? He's so greedy that he can't get enough. That he has to have so much that he's eating his own self. He's gonna eat the whole world, the whole planet. Look how he's destroying the whole planet, man. It doesn't even make sense. Why would you build a nuclear missile that could destroy the planet? You know what I mean? I mean, the Lord's not going to allow you to do it, but you know, these missiles are something else, man. They are like the death adder, right? And when you go into that death adder, it goes into being a cobra, right? And when you go into that old cartoon G.I. Joe, Cobra was this secret government or secret society that was always constantly trying to take over the world. And that's Esau. That's this Illuminati, this secret society, this secret government, the secret wicked, right? That stoppeth her ear, right? That won't listen, right? And a lot of you Israelites, right? Because it's old congregation. Because it's speaking about the Israelites right there. And you stop your ear too. You won't listen to the Most High, right? Yeah. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 38. I'm gonna go verse 1. It says, "Honor a physician," right? Which that's what so-called a forger or a doctor is not. He's not a physician. He's not out to heal you. He's not out to give you a solution to your pain and your problems, right? Which really ultimately everything comes from the Most High, and that's what he's going to tell you. And with honor doeth do unto him for the use which ye have, which ye may have of him, for the Lord have created him. See, the Lord created a physician, or what the world mistakenly calls doctor, right? Because a doctor is they're lies. They're forgers of lies, right? That's all they do. They make believe, man. That's it, right? But a physician, like Dr. Sebe and a lot of these other doctors that were actually healing, that they allowed to all get into a plane and mysteriously it blew up and no one has nothing to say about it, right? Top world healing people all in one plane trying to come up with a way to actually make the world a better place, but they're all gone, and no one has anything to say, right? For the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Which, like I said, Yahweh means he is. Yahweh Shai means he delivers or he saves, and Yahweh means he is or the existing one, which they're two solely different entities. The Father is going to give the Son, which is Yahweh Shai, authority over all things, right? You can't be given something if you're the same entity, right? You can go to Daniel 7, right? And it'll prove that the Most High, that Yahweh Shai hasn't got his full glory yet, which he soon will, right? And for something to come give you glory means you're not equal with the Most High, right? So that's why I just say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because that's our way back to the Most High. For Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai which says, "For the Most High Yahweh Bashem Shai cometh healing, and he shall receive honor from the king." And so this is kind of like what they were doing to Fauci. He was supposed to be doing this thing, and now they were giving him this honor. That's why he was in these magazines and all these different things, right? The skill of the physician shall lift up the head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. See, they were putting him in paper. Oh, look, Fauci, oh, we better. And a lot of people see him in great admiration. And so this is what the Democrat is basically feeding off of. But at the end of everything, that's why I just showed the last clip. Everything was, oh yeah, well, what when there's another pandemic? Are we prepared? Did this help us for the next? And they just kept saying it as if you already know what you do, because they're already talking about some type of H1N1 or H1 or H21 or whatever. Now it's modified from, now it's not the old bird flu, kind of like what they were trying to say about the COVID, because they knew about the so-called COVID SARS, but this was a COVID SARS-2, so it was new. They've never seen it before, which made it novel, but you can come up with a vaccine in less than 10 months, and it's supposed to be the cure-all, be-all, and now this guy is a hero. This is what the Democratic public is telling you, right? But there may be another one, right? Which they already said that there was a death in Mexico of it. So, but the skills, what it lifted up ahead. So that's what they were doing with this guy Fauci. They lifted him up, put him in the newspaper, this and that, and some of them were still doing it. And in the sight of great men shall be admiration. It says Yahweh, right? And that should be for a true physician, someone who actually helps. But you got to be careful, because that's what happened with I believe with Dr. Sebi. People started basically praising the guy. It was, oh, but Dr. Sebi said this, but Dr. Sebi. So Dr. Sebi is competing for the Most High, competing with the Most High. So the Most High had to take him out. The Lord will not compete with anybody. But this is all to lead you to the Charagma. So the Lord has to allow this thing to happen. He's not going to take this guy out quite yet, because all this has to build up to Esau's judgment, right? So yeah, Esau can, but you Jakes, you're not supposed to praise him like that. You weren't supposed to give Dr. Sebi so much praise, right? And that's why that's ultimately, I believe, why the Lord took him out. You know what I mean? So it says, and the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, have created medicine out of the earth, right? Which really, it all belongs to him. It all belongs to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And you can get medicines, right? Which are natural things, natural herbs, natural, sour sop, certain different fruits and vegetables, and even jalapenos has more vitamin C than oranges, than lemons and grapefruits. Like, I mean, there's things that the Lord put out there. You know what I mean? A horseradish cures a lot of different things, asthmas and urinary tract infections and all these different things that it could perform, right? It says and it's from the natural, from the earth, and he that is wise will not abort them, right? And that's what they're doing. They're aborting them. Dr. Fauci, he aborted. It was, hey, let's go get, because they were already telling the farmers to destroy your crops. So with this so-called disease and all this other stuff. It should have been, hey, let's get to the farmers and let's pour money into the farmers so we can grow good crops that can heal the people, because we need good things that come from the earth to heal the people. But no, it was like, no, let's get some man-made, created, synthetic, liquid madness and give you the icky vicky, and that's the cure, right? That's what they were saying, right? Not the water made sweet was not the water made like it was not the water made sweet with wood, right? When that's still dealing with the time of Moses. Moses threw a stick, a piece of wood, into the water because it was bitter. It was wormwood, right? It was bitter, and he threw a certain stick. I forgot what it was called, but this certain stick, it's good for pulling soaking up the bad stuff and only keeping the good, basically. So this piece of wood, it soaked up and cleaned the water, and that's what the Lord said in the herbs. That stick is from the earth, right? That stick that he threw in there, the Most High created. And that stick was able, that those pieces of wood were able to cleanse the water and make it drinkable, right? That the virtue thereof might be known. See, hey, and it's all known from the Most High, and it's known. I think Esau even knows about that. I believe they were saying pine cones is a good way to put a bunch of pine cones and sift it out, sift your water through the pine cones, and just keep sifting your water, and it'll start cleansing your water. If it was tainted water, you can just keep sifting it through it, and then of course boiling it, right? And then boiling it, sifting it through pine cones, and then boiling it, you could drink it, right? And he that have given men skills, that he might be honored in his marvelous works, which really comes from the Most High. See, and this guy, they all patting this guy on the back like he did some marvelous work. But where's the praise to the Most High? This Bible-believing place, God-loving place, and not giving the praise to the Most High, right? They give these guys were patting this guy on his back, Dr. Fauci, praising him to the sky. But this is really only supposed to happen for a real physician. But even with a real physician, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? You can't give him too much praise. But hey, the Lord said, hey, a person was going to get a certain amount of honor, a certain amount of respect. That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Which with such doeth he heal men and taketh away their pain. See, a real, but we know that more people are dying from the icky vicky than it's actually helped. But for keepsake, a lot of these people, they can't speak for themselves because they're already dead, or like a lot of these people saying, the media is gonna muzzle you because it's the small hat owned media, and you're gonna get muzzled, right? It says of such doeth the apothecary, right? And that's where you get the actual herbs and things, where you get things to actually heal people. Apothecary maketh a confection, and of his works there is no end, right? See, and that's the difference between a man and the Most High, because there's no end to the work for a regular man, but the Most High, right? And there's an end with the Most High, because that's what I was going to say. Hey, and from him is peace over all the earth. My son, right here, this word is, my son, in thy sickness, be not negligent, but pray unto Yahweh. See, the Lord wants his praise. Pray unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and he will make thee whole. Right? Because all healing ultimately comes from the Most High. Which I know you have all these people who don't believe in the Lord, and they're dieting and they're becoming healed and all the other stuff, but that stuff ultimately those herbs come from the Most High. And I know it seems crazy. The people who believe in the Most High is the sickest, and the people who don't believe in the Most High is somehow they look like they're doing well. But the whole thing about that is the Lord is about to turn the tables real soon, and it's not gonna look good for them, right? And that's ultimately what it is, man. Yeah. So this Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 1 says, "Dead flies causeth the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinky savor," right? So basically, the ointment that they have, the icky vicky that they have, people take, it's sending forth a stinky savor, man. Everybody knows about these these cases, you know, and you gotta say alleged, right? These alleged cases that people are not doing as well as they making him seem to be as this great hero. But and I'm just gonna say alleged just to leave it like that. So doeth a little folly. See, because they boasted this guy, put him on a pedestal, put him all over the newspapers, all over these different magazines, lifted him up. He was a household name, and people really was, oh my God. And some people are probably still like that. A little folly. So doeth a little folly him that is in reputation. Oh, reputations, like a reputation, right? Because they were giving him a reputation, so like a reputation, right? Putting them all over the news, giving them a reputation for wisdom and honor, right? They say, "Oh man, this guy's so smart. He's this, he's that. He's such a great doctor. He's been in this medical field for 50 years. He's been doing this for about 30 something years. He's this great guy." But now all the things are falling apart, right? Because he sat there and said, well, they asked him about the 6 feet distance. He said, well, I don't know. I didn't say it. It just popped up. Popped up from where? I don't know. It just popped up, and then it popped up from the CDC, and they said it. It wasn't me, and it was somebody else, and it was something else. You know what I mean? Oh, well, they send me packages, and everything's all in the thing, so I signed off on them. You know, hey, I can't search through everything, but then you're the head. The whole thing about the head person is they have to come and give you, even if it's a brief synopsis of their findings, and you being the head doctor, you know enough to sign off on it. But he's making it like I just signed off on it, which, you know, that's one of those things that Congress have given you. Well, there's these bills, and they're giving you the same runaround as Congress. Well, all these bills in Congress, and they come this stacked high, so there's no time to go through all of it. So yeah, I signed off on all your freedoms, but I didn't know it was in this big package. So you don't have no freedoms, right? Why Congress is up there so-called grilling this guy. Well, that's why he can't go to jail, because they've written off on all the freedoms. So they're trying to give you this song and dance as if they're going to be able to do something, right? But they gave him this honor and all these things for his so-called wisdom. And it says, a wise man man's heart, right, is at his right hand, right, dealing with the righteousness, the right hand of the Most High, which is righteousness, but a full heart at his left, right, always doing wickedness on the left hand side, right. It says, yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom felleth. And see, and that wasn't a wise thing to say. Well, I don't know, it just popped up. So now he had to go back in Congress and go, hey, well, when I said that, I really meant it this way. No, you sat there in front of everything and you didn't correct it then. Now you're looking at a week later, 2 weeks later, and now you're correcting it. So which proved that, hey, you said the right thing the first time, right? You said the right thing the first time, man. You're playing a game, but it's okay. The Most High is recording everything, just like we are right now. We're recording everything, and which you are too. You're recording everything, but the Most High, hey, they already said it's 1,000 years more advanced, and really it's farther than that, but 1,000 years, hey, you're not even on China and Russia's level, let alone 1,000 years more advanced. I mean, forget about it, right? But yea, also when, yeah, his he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth, and he saith to every one that he is a fool. Hey, and ultimately that's what basically happened, man. That showed everybody that this guy's a freaking fool, but not to some. Some saying, hey, this guy, you're still a hero. And then they had, like I said, they had to give you that that 1-2 dynamic of that left-right paradigm, right? One person got up there and grilled him and said something that was so-called saying he was guilty, and then someone got up there and said, no, you're this great guy. And then someone else went up there and said, hey, you're this criminal, you need to go to prison. And then another person got up there and said, hey, no, you're this hero, but what about the next pandemic? Everything was about the next pandemic, which, hey, we're fastly probably approaching this, and this time, hey, we're not coming out of lockdown, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna go back here. This is Job 13:3. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire the reason with the power, right? Which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? The power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But ye are physician of lies. Ye are forgers of lies, like your forgers, right? Which goes into doctor. Forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, right? And that's ultimately what a lot of them people were doing. They they're finding these guys in lies, or not lies, because they're saying that they haven't came up with all the evidence that they say that they have, which they probably have it, but they didn't produce it, but they saying they have it. So that's a game, right? But by his own testimony out of his own mouth, by getting up there and saying, hey, I don't know where it came, it just appeared out of nowhere, and I just threw it out there. Basically saying, because science means to know, so it means you didn't know, you were throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to see what sticks, in a sense. So it means you didn't know. So that means the same thing with this, the Icky Vicky. You didn't know anything about it. You didn't know if it worked. You just trust that these people knew what they were doing, and you signed off on something you didn't have no idea. So nobody sat down and broke down anything to you. You just signed off on it. See, and that in itself is untrustworthy. How can you trust somebody? You mean you just sign off on something? You don't know what. This is gonna go into people's skin. So you just sign. Hey, I know. I just trust. You know what I mean? I just trust you guys know what you're doing. But obviously, his job or his honor is not on the line. So that's why you could do that, because nothing's happening to this guy. That's why you could sign off on it, because if you know anybody else that has a job, if you sign off on it, that means you're saying you're responsible. It's as if you did it. That's like the mafia or anybody else. That's like somebody, the top person signs off on something. It's as if you did it yourself, right? But not for this guy, right? So it says, like ye that ye would altogether hold your peace, right? And that's a lot of people doing. They holding their peace, and it should be your wisdom, hey. And so when this country collapse and you die and something happens to you because you took this thing or you trusted in this man, you trusted in this system, hey, that's gonna be your wisdom, man. Here now, now my reasoning. Hey, you wanted a reason? Hear my reasoning, and hearken to the pledging of my pleading of my lips. Of my lips will ye speak wickedly for the power of the Most High, Yahweh. You're gonna speak wickedly for me? You're gonna say that it was this and that, or where's God and all this? No, you made your own decision, man. Right? You didn't ask for God. Like the Lord said, hey, yeah, the physician heals, but ultimately at the end, pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and he will make you whole. That will complete the whole matter. Right? It says, will ye speak wickedly for the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai power, and talk deceitfully for him? And that's ultimately what these devils do. Esau do. You Jakes do. All these people who trust in Esau's kingdom, the America, Babylon the Great, the small hats that's ruling the world, right along with them, right? Will ye accept his person? Right? You're gonna accept what Esau said? Are you gonna accept that there is a God? Will you contend for God? Right? Are you're gonna fight to be God? Because that's ultimately what Esau's doing. He's pretending that he's God. He's fighting to show that he's God. Right? Contend means to fight for. Right? So he's fighting the whole world to say that, hey, trust the science. I'm God. Right? So you're gonna fight and say, hey, no, this is God. Now, okay, it is good that he should search you out, right? And a lot of you Jakes, man, hey, Esau got your number. He knows a lot about you, but the Most High is searching out Esau, right? Or as one man mocketh another, doeth ye so mock him. He will surely reprove you if ye secretly accept his person, right? See? And a lot of people are going to accept Esau, right? And he's going to reprove you as you accept what he has, right? All these lies, these things. Surely shall not his excellency make you afraid? Right? The top dude is up there saying he don't know what happened. He don't know where the 6 foot distance came from. He don't know where it came. It just came out of nowhere. Shouldn't even his excellence, all this top shit, this motherfucker. Hey, and you ain't afraid? Hey, and his dread fall upon you? Hey, man. Yeah, with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder bishops in Connecticut, the bishops the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akhwathiim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball.